There is a silence that exists between two heartbeats, a pause so subtle most will never hear it. In that stillness, something ancient awakens. The body remembers it is more than flesh. It is a temple carved by time and eternity, carrying the echo of every union and every prayer whispered in the secret language of touch. The temple touch ritual is not an act of lust or performance. It is an invocation. The moment when the masculine and feminine, two cosmic rivers, merge into one vast ocean of creation. Not simply touch upon skin, but soul meeting soul through the gates of sacred anatomy. When done with reverence, pleasure becomes prayer, and intimacy becomes awakening. Tantra teaches us that the body is not an obstacle to enlightenment. It is the doorway. The sacred pillar, the axis of light, is more than form. It is the connection between earth and sky, a conduit of raw creative energy. The sacred chalice is more than an entrance to life. It is the living vessel of Shakti, the feminine force that births stars and galaxies. When they meet, it is not man and woman. It is Shiva and Shakti, sun and moon, spirit and matter, folding into one breath. The temple touch ritual is the conscious art of slowing time until every movement, every glance, every inhale becomes deliberate and holy. The mind, usually noisy, falls into silence. The body, often rushed, learns to be seen, honored, and adored. It is not about reaching climax. It is about communion. Imagine this, a dimly lit room. Air warm with sandalwood, rose, and jasmine. Incense smoke rising like ribbons of prayer. Candles flicker, shadows dance. No rush, no destination. One partner sits before the other. Eyes meet, and in that gaze, a universe opens. The gaze says, "I see you." Not just your body, but the constellation of your being. The ritual begins long before touch. It begins with breath. Slow, deep inhalations align two nervous systems. Science tells us the mind quiets, the amygdala relaxes, and oxytocin, the hormone of trust, begins to flow. The body shifts from tension into safety, and only in safety can true ecstasy unfold. A hand rises, not to grasp, but to hover gently above the heart, feeling the invisible pulse that radiates beyond the skin. The electromagnetic field of the heart is real, measurable. In this field, intention becomes force. And when the intention is devotion, hearts align in resonance. Two tuning forks vibrating to the same note. Only then does touch begin. The sacred pillar is held as one would hold a vessel of light, gently, reverently. The sacred chalice is approached as if stepping barefoot into a temple. Warm hands, steady breath. Movements slow enough for the mind to dissolve, and the body to awaken into whispers and shivers. Every stroke is an offering. The giver is not doing something to the receiver. They are channeling energy, awakening pathways long dormant. Neural circuits light up again, sending signals through the vagus nerve, igniting not only arousal, but also relaxation and trust. The body releases dopamine and endorphins, weaving bliss with serenity. Here, touch is not a means to an end. Touch itself is the altar. The moment is the destination. Presence is the offering, and the act of touch becomes enlightenment. When the sacred pillar is touched with reverence, masculine energy feels seen, not as performer, but as embodiment of cosmic structure. When the sacred chalice is touched with patience, feminine energy feels safe to open, not as object, but as infinite vessel of creation. Breath aligns, heartbeats synchronize. Skin awakens to textures and sensations forgotten. Science calls it interoceptive awareness, the art of feeling fully. In Tantra, it is the gateway to inhabiting life itself. And in that fullness, transformation begins. The body stops bracing, the mind stops chasing. Two beings dissolve into something beyond giver and receiver, beyond masculine and feminine. They dissolve into the pulse of the universe itself. The ritual rewrites the body's story. Every wound, every rejection, every shadow lives in the tissues and nervous system. When touch is rushed, the body guards itself. But when touch is slow and reverent, the body begins to trust again. And trust is the key to ecstasy. The giver breathes deeply, silently affirming, "You are safe, you are sacred, you are whole." This vibration travels through hands, gaze, and energy. Science shows that one coherent heart can influence another, guiding rhythm into harmony. In temple touch, the giver becomes a tuning fork, and together they resonate as one. When the sacred pillar is honored, it is not about reaction. It becomes a channel of energy rising up the spine. The masculine becomes guardian and witness. When the sacred chalice is met with patience, she unfolds like a lotus in the sun, wave by wave, layer by layer. Not linear, but tidal. Each wave deepens the communion. Every movement carries geometry. The pillar reflects the cosmic axis, the descent of light. The chalice reflects the portal of creation. When united, they form infinity. Not symbol, but lived experience. Gentle, conscious touch activates deep nerve fibers, whispering to the brain, "This is safe, this is love." The body exhales, it opens, it receives. Energy rises, invited, not forced, looping through heart and mind until raw desire transforms into spiritual fire. This is Mithuna in its highest form. Not reproduction, not release, but transmutation. The current ascends through the body's centers, roots stirring life force, sacral awakening creativity, solar plexus igniting power, heart expanding love, throat unlocking truth, third eye awakening vision, crown merging with infinity. The chalice blooms outward, radiating through the body. The pillar feels waves moving upward along the spine. Both experience whole body ecstasy, the bliss body, the radiant field of awakened presence. Yet this ritual is not about technique. You could memorize every movement and still miss the essence if the heart is absent. Temple touch is not mechanics. It is devotion. It is love, made visible through the hands. Words fall away. Only breath, glances, and subtle pauses remain. Time dissolves. A single minute feels eternal. An hour passes like a dream. In timelessness, healing occurs. Shadows rise, shame, rejection, old wounds. They are bathed in light, rewritten by love. The body learns a new truth. Pleasure is safe. Intimacy is sacred. My body is a temple. Science calls it neuroplasticity, the brain rewiring through loving repetition. Tantra calls it awakening. At the peak, energy may surge, not as release, but as a wave filling the entire being. It may express as laughter, as tears, or as stillness so deep it feels like the universe holds its breath. This is not an ending, it is a gateway. Beyond it lies quiet, no giver, no receiver, only love touching itself. The ritual closes with grounding, hands over hearts, eyes meeting once more, sealing the sacred field. The afterglow hums in the skin. The heart remains open. The temple lives in the body. In these final moments, intentions can be planted. The field is fertile, amplified. Lovers may offer prayers or visions to the universe, infused with the charge of their communion. And this energy ripples outward. When masculine and feminine find harmony in two bodies, they radiate harmony into the collective. Each temple touch becomes a gift to the world. The truth is simple. It is not about chasing peaks. It is about weaving sacred awareness into daily life. A hand brushing in the kitchen, a kiss placed without reason, a glance that whispers, "I see you." All of it is temple touch. And as the lovers bow to each other at the end, it is not gesture, but acknowledgement. I have seen the divine in you, and you have seen it in me. That bow seals the temple. That bow honors the journey. The days that follow bring gifts. Creativity surges. Old wounds release. Confidence deepens. Radiance shines. Life feels more alive, more connected. Because temple touch is not a moment, it is initiation. Initiation into body as temple, pleasure as prayer, union as the language of the divine. Now you know the temple was never a place. It was always here, in breath, in touch, in the eternal silence between two heartbeats. Tantra is the bridge. Love is the fire. You are the temple. If this teaching has touched you, subscribe and continue exploring the mysteries of Tantra, love, and consciousness together.